On Raw, we witnessed this goo-like black substance coming out of Alexa Bliss's mouth. Now, of course, there's lots of theories and ideas as to what this represents. Initially, of course, we're going to say it's black blood, because that's what it looks like to the naked eye. But could Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss be doing something even more sinister here? Pretty much everything in the Firefly Funhouse we try and trace back to pop culture references from maybe like the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s, something Bray Wyatt's taken inspiration from to create the story he's currently telling and how it's displayed on television. So let's start with that and a theory that Butterspark sent me on Twitter. This is really, really fun and I love this idea a lot. In the show The X-Files, you see this. This is purity. This is black oil, or as Russians would say, black cancer. Basically, it was a virus that was alien that was able to thrive under the surface of the earth. And then, of course, the oil would get into people, it would infect people, and it was the way the aliens reproduced their race was using this black oil. It was this black oil that was allowing the aliens, if you will, to control them. It actually changed the person. Now that does sound very similar to what we are currently seeing in the Bray Wyatt, the Fiend story with Alexa Bliss, and you can say with other WWE superstars. Is this a sign that this black oil is changing Alexa Bliss? Maybe it could be the secret of how the Fiend changes people. You know, we talk about the Fiend changing people like Seth Rollins all the time. Look at Alexa Bliss. You literally have that theory constantly, but we're never able to actually explain it. Maybe this is how. And when the Fiend does lock in that mandible claw, that's a way to transfer that oil, that black oil, purity, if you will, if you want to give it its X-Files name, that purity into somebody else, meaning that person then changes because the oil controls them. For sure, it's not the first time we've spoken about Alexa Bliss being possessed. In recent weeks, literally a couple of weeks ago on Raw, there was this weird video vignette that played while Alexa Bliss changed in the centre of the ring. Listen. Now, seemingly some people do hear other words from that clip. Some people hear sister, for example. I think the majority of people agree that says possession. And if that is again saying possession, it's taking Little Miss Bliss and possessing her, something again we can reference to our old Firefly Funhouse episode. It makes a lot of sense when we then go into this theory of oil possession. Now, I know that sounds really, really stupid, but this is something that was a major, major hit. I'm 100% sure someone like Bray Wyatt would 100% know what the X-Files was. And obviously this could be a way to sort of bridge the gap between that sci-fi world and wrestling and really sort of hone the fact that the Fiend is infecting people. If this was a one-off, I probably wouldn't read that much into it. But it's something we have seen ever since The Fiend has debuted on WWE television. We have seen this black ooze coming out of The Fiend's mouth. We've seen it dribbling down his neck throughout matches. And we've always wondered what the hell it is. Now, it seems like it was relevant this entire time. And that's genuinely one of the things I really love about the Firefly Funhouse. Something we've spoken about before is that black liquid coming out of the Fiend's mask. And we literally put it down to maybe he was wearing face paint underneath the mask to hide skin tone and things like that, so we couldn't see it. Well, no. Now it seemingly looks like it was important and it was staring us in the face this entire time. Bray Wyatt is a genius. Come on, you got to admit it. On Raw Talk, obviously following Monday Night Raw, they did try to explain what happened to Alexa Bliss and what was happening in the match with Orton and Edge. And of course, it was Charlie Caruso who said it was bleeding. She was bleeding from the mouth. R-Truth used the word foaming and basically said it was licorice because, you know, R-Truth, and it was really funny, to be fair. But genuinely, they don't know. And that's something I picked up on, is they don't know what it was. And it wasn't them telling you this is what it is. They were trying to guess what this was. And I bet I know now why Alexa Bliss didn't wear her brand new ring gear that she debuted at the Royal Rumble to do this spud on Raw, because I bet you any money, whatever the hell that was meant to be, didn't wash out very easily. So she probably wore an old attire for that specific reason. I really do like the idea of this whole black oil / purity. It actually has the name purity being the cause of people changing. People didn't leak oil like this all the time. They actually did it on purpose to infect other people. And this was a way that the oil then got into others. And that could be what we see in the future with Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton on Monday Night Raw. Her putting this oil into Randy. Could be a spooky vignette. Some people won't enjoy it. I think I definitely will. So I don't care what other people think. I will enjoy it. That's all that matters to me. And I'm sure you will do the same as well. I also find it very interesting that this is called Purity. And we've been talking for weeks about a possible pure Bray Wyatt, like, new character to be returning. Of course, it could be a new pure Fiend, for example. Fire purifies. We've established that on so many theory videos in recent weeks. So if that's the case, Purity, a pure new form, could be coming. And it would be great. It would be really cool, especially if, like, the fact it's been made the focus and now it's going to happen. It could be genius. But I'd love to know what you think, especially some of you X-Files fans who may be watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Really am highly interested in what you guys have to say. Obviously, this is something not a lot of people will like, but to us that do, the supernatural fans, the sci-fi fans who sort of get behind this element in wrestling and appreciate the acting that's being put in and everything like that, it's absolute brilliant. Obviously, we did make a video on Monday night of things you might have missed from Monday Night Raw. We also included parts of the Royal Rumble and spoke about the Royal Rumble in that video. So if you haven't already, make sure you check that video out. Really do appreciate the support on that. I think at the time we're recording this, it's currently on 1,100 likes, which is incredible. So massive thank you to all of you people who have watched that video. And a massive shout out to Butterspark, who sent me this theory on Twitter the other day. Really looked into it, and honestly, dude, genius. Absolute genius. But as I said, let me know your thoughts down below. Like this video, share this video, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Follow me on Twitter at CWrestlingUK. And I'll see you next time. Peace!